quarter. The Cowboys took the opening kickoff, drove 80 yards, and they lead 7-0. Pat Summerall and John Madden here watching Rangel step the end kickoff. Mike Nelms watches it taken back to the corner of the end zone, and the Redskins will start from the 20. One of their better drives of the year. John Riggins will open as the lone setback for the Redskins. To Riggins by Theismann, who's going to work quickly if he has time, and he doesn't. Down goes Theismann under the Cowboy heat. Dutton, Jeffco, Randy White, Eugene Lockhart, all of them there. On offense, the Redskins will operate with these people. Theismann, the quarterback. Riggins, the lone setback. Wide receivers will be Muhammad and Monk. Ricky Walker's the tight end. Up front, Warren, Jacoby, Graham, Donnelly, Huff, and Mark May. Lockhart got credit for that sack. It's 2nd down and 14 to the Redskins from their own 16. Theismann back to throw. Gets it out to Punch Didier, and Didier gets the Redskins first down. Cut down by Dennis Thurman. 22-yard gain, however. On defense, the Cowboys will go at it like this. A 4-man front, Jones, Dutton, White, Jeffco. The linebackers, Hegman, Lockhart in the middle in place of Brunig, and Anthony Dickerson. And the secondary, Walls and Fellows, the corners, Clinkscale and Downs, the safeties. First down, Redskins, their own 38. 8.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Runs up to the official just before the Redskins snapped the ball and called a timeout.
Because the Cowboys had too many men in the field. They had a 4-0 defense and a regular defense, and they had 12 men out there.
7-0. Dallas over Washington. We're off to a rollicking start. At Texas Stadium. A warm afternoon. A warm game as far as competition is concerned, too. Cowboys leading the Redskins 7-0. Riggins over the left side. He got about 2 before John Dutton takes him down. For an NFL update, let's send you back to New York, Brent Musburger.
That Cincinnati won, so it was up to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with time running out, Gary Anderson hit this 34-yard field goal. They beat the Browns 23-20. The Steelers must beat now the Raiders next Sunday in Los Angeles. Back to Pat and John.
That Three River Stadium is a bad place for the Cleveland Browns. They have never won there.
It's a bad place if you're any visiting team.
You have some memories, don't you? Theismann scrambles out of the pocket. He can be dangerous when he does this. He slides down at the Dallas 46 after gaining 12 yards.
That's one thing about Joe Theismann. You always have to have someone in his face. The rush has to stay in lanes. Now watch, if you give him a hole, you see that little gap there? The minute that he sees that hole, he's going to break it. And when he breaks it, the linebackers are out in pass coverage. The secondary is out on pass coverage. And that gives Joe Theismann a first down. He's wearing glasses. I've never seen that before.
I haven't either. But that's not while he's playing.
Only while he's reading and stuff, studying game plan.
On first down, he gives to Riggins. Riggins over the left side gets about 4. Randy White made the stop. Cincinnati beat New Orleans 24-21. They are still alive in the playoff picture. Miami assuring themselves of the home field advantage if they continue to win throughout the playoffs. 35-17 over Indianapolis. Kansas City. Boy, they stirred things up, didn't they? 34-7 over Seattle. Warren moves in motion. 2nd down. Theismann quickly. For Calvin Muhammad, Fellows was the nearest Cowboy, but as Joe was saying to us last night, everything we do is done on a read, a quick read.
And that's the problem that he's been having with Calvin Muhammad. He's not used to Joe Theismann. Joe Theismann isn't used to him. Now we see Muhammad out here. His option, he says, I got him here. I'm going to go deeper. Theismann says, when the guy was playing there, you should have gone out. Theismann throws it out. Muhammad goes up.
Riggins is out, and Joe Washington, another of the many injured Redskins who's just come back. Here's the setback. Theismann pointing, look out, they're coming. And they are. Theismann gets away. Walls the defender. There is no penalty marker down. It was intended for Art Monk. Theismann did a remarkable job to get out of the blitz by down.
You can tell one thing, this Cowboy defensive game plan is on any passing down to go after Joe Theismann. Look, Downs is coming from the right side right there. He has Theismann. Theismann makes a nice move getting out of it. But boy, does he take a shot as he throws that ball. Whew. You talk about getting someone in the quarterback's face. That's a way to get in a quarterback's face.
Downs and Bates both came on the blitz. Bates applied the hit. Jeff Hayes back to punt. Gary Allen back deep for the Cowboys. Hayes hangs it high. He'll hang up there a long time. They get away from it. In the end zone, they'll bring it back to the 20. Flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. Penalty marker down. 42-yard punt by Jeff Hayes that stayed airborne a long time. Going to be holding against Dallas. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Well, you know, it's not as tough as it used to be. It used to be that if you had a holding penalty on a punt return, that the other team got the ball back. Now at least you get to keep the ball, and then they'll mark off the penalty from there.
Holding, 89 on receiving team, post-possession foul, first down.
Tom Dooley with the call of a post-possession foul as Joe Gibbs looks on. 6 minutes and 8 seconds left to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium, with the Cowboys leading the Redskins by the score of 7-0. Cowboys over the Redskins at Texas Stadium. Green Bay has taken the lead over Chicago with just a few seconds remaining, we understand. Chicago has won the division title, but they need a victory with a home field advantage in the first round of the playoff games, and that looks like it might have escaped them today. They got to beat Detroit next week. Nothing for Dorsett as he tries the left side. Charles Mann on the stop. NFL update coming. Let's go to Brent Musburger.
And Pat, here's the play that did it to the Chicago Bears. Rich Campbell, the third-string quarterback, on the scramble, heaves it. Philip Epps has got it. There were 34 seconds remaining when Green Bay beat Chicago in this game, 2014. Back to Pat and John.
A lot of things changing in a very, very rapid fashion. Second down and 9. The Cowboys at their own 11. They lead 7-0. White has time. Cosby to the 35. Dallas first down. Curtis Jordan stopped it.
That's the other thing the Cowboys have to do if they're going to be successful offensively. Last week, Doug Cosby didn't catch a pass. I've always felt that Doug Cosby was Danny White's favorite target because he's always in the middle like this. And he's so tall. He's 6'6". You can see the big guy, and you get him in the middle like that against linebacker coverage, and he can pick up that 20-25 for you a lot of times.
Danny White had a poor day in Philadelphia last week. He'd be the first to tell you. Today, he's 6 out of 7. He gets to Newsom to the 40.
And Tom Landry stayed with them too. You know, as he said yesterday, he said Danny White did have a bad week last week. He said it was the worst I've ever seen him. He said, but heck, Roger had bad games too.
Roger, of course, being today's honorary captain for the Cowboys, Roger Staubach. Second down and 5. White back to Dorsett. Dorsett slips away from a couple. He might have another Cowboy first down. Kaufman on the tackle. It's close to first down yardage. Looks like they might be about a foot away from a first by Dorsett. Those of you who watch the Packers come from behind to beat the Bears. 20-14, welcome to Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall and John Madden here with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The Cowboys leading the Redskins by the score of 7-0. 3rd and short. Newsom barrels for the first down. Very close to midfield. He picked up about 5. Curtis Jordan took him down.
Newsom, of course, is a new starter the last couple games for the Cowboys. That has always been Ron Springs' position, and they're playing about half and half. But Tom Landry said, I just felt that I had to get another big play guy in the offense, and he said that's what Newsom gives us. Of course, then last week, Ron Springs comes in for Newsom and gets that big pass for a touchdown for him.
Nice to have them both, I guess.
Maybe it's the guy on the bench is a big play guy, and the guy that plays is a journeyman.
Tony Hill was somewhat offside.
He just took off. He was about 8 yards downfield before they even threw the flag. Officials didn't even see him. Look at him pointing there. No, it's against him. One guy's going, line judge is saying against the Redskins. The other guy's saying, no. Tony Hill left early. Watch him. The line was shifting. He was watching the line shift. He said, I'll start on the shift. There's Mel Kaufman. He sees him. He looks out there and he points and says, I hit that guy, but the other guy did it.
First down.
I'll bet you he was saying when they were doing all that pointing that somebody on the Redskin defense gave him a phony snap count. However, it didn't work. To Dorsett. No place to go. Darrell Green and Mel Kaufman up for the Redskin defense quickly. Good news for the Denver Broncos as Kansas City just overpowered Seattle 34-7. That doesn't happen to those folks very often.
Yeah, I talked to Jim Plunkett in the offseason once. We were at some charity golf tournament. He says, you know, of all the teams in the NFL that I worry the most about, that it's the Kansas City Chiefs. He said they're capable of that.
Well, even when you were coaching the Raiders, didn't they always give you a tough time?
Always did.
On second down, White is back to throw. To Tony Hill, complete. Into Redskin territory. Not enough for a first down as Monty Coleman comes up with a tackle. 9-yard gain.
Tony Hill did a nice job here. Look, he's in the slot. He does a nice job of using his body to ward off the defender. Watch him here. He comes. He's going to run a little hook. Now watch him stop back here. That's the option. The guy's inside. Now see how he just turned his shoulders to the outside just to move the linebacker out as he could catch the ball. Monty Coleman was right there, and he just kind of edged him right out with his shoulders.
3rd and 7 of the Redskin 48. Darrell Harris is in the game as a 3rd wide receiver. Outside Tony Hill. Anthony Washington was the defender, but another good throw by Danny White. And a good effort by Tony Hill.
That's a good read here. You see what you can tell him is Tony Hill get in the shade and run up to the sun and then run out. See, he runs right into the sun. That's where he's running the out. That gives him a first down and everything. Run at the end of the shade to the sun. Boom, turn left and I'll hit you.
First down, Cowboys, the Redskin 37. White is now 8 out of 9. To about the 35. Rich Millott in the bottom of the pile along with Dave Butts for the Redskins.
I'll tell you, it's kind of tough to run in there when you get a big Darrell Grant and Dave Butts in there. Those guys weigh 300 pounds. Sometimes you can run away from them with little success. When you try and run right at them, who's going to move them out so you can run at them? No one moved them out.
I'd guess most of those Dallas offensive linemen are converted guards. The Redskins probably outweigh them by about 35, 40 pounds a man. Posby, the tight end, is to the right, and Danny White calls a timeout. That's 2 of them they've used now. They only have 1 left. Landry, who has just said, let's put all this stuff about me retiring to rest. I'm going to be back. Texas Stadium. 25 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Dallas 7, Washington nothing. A game that means everything. The winner of this one is going to have outright first place in the NFC East. The draw play to Dorsett. He got nothing as Rich Malott had everything figured out.
I think one thing on a draw that you know that they're going to be keying Tony Dorsett. Malott is probably watching there because he doesn't want. He knows that they can throw a screen or a draw, and watch him right there. He sees Dorsett stay. The guard blocks back. He just steps right up in that hole, and he's in there before Dorsett can get to the line of scrimmage.
They had that one defense pretty well, about as well as you can. He had the right key, made the right tackle. 7-0 at the end of one at Texas Stadium. Dallas over Washington. Boy, you look at the time of possession. As you know, of course, if you watch the game here ever, that the roof is not covered. There is a roof, and that's the reason for the difference in the daylight. White goes on third down from the shotgun. Harris broke it to the outside. White threw it to the inside. The Cowboys will have to punt. In the first quarter, Dallas had 10 first downs to 2 for the Redskins. Look at that bottom one, John.
Well, that's a big one, and especially important against the Redskins because they're one of those ball control type teams. You know, John Riggins is back. They want to run the ball at you, play pass, those types of things. And when you only have the ball 3 minutes, and the other guys have it 11, it's hard to have a ball control. That makes sense.
Mike Nelms back deep for the Redskins, and Danny White will punt for Dallas. Looking, gets it away, goes way right, aiming for out of bounds, and bounces into the end zone. Took a strange bounce. It looked like he had it. But they'll bring it back to the 20. 39-yard punt. 7-0. Dallas 7, Washington nothing. Roger Staubach in the Ring of Honor. Today's honorary captain.
That old Rogers is fired up as any of them down there in that side.
Yeah, I guarantee you. Here's Riggins. Over the right side. Rumbles for about 2 or 3 before Ed Jones is the initial Cowboy to make contact.
You know what surprised me, Pat, on that third down that the Cowboys went for the end zone when had they just completed, 5 or 10 yards, they would have been in field goal position for Rafael Septien, but they decided to go for the whole loaf there.
And they got a misread between the quarterback and the wide receiver. 2nd down and 7. Redskins have it at their own 23. Motion is Didier. Riggins on the counter. Broncos in front. Riggins has the first down. Michael Downs takes him down after a gain of 12.
Remember, we were talking to John Riggins, and he says, all I do on that counter is take a little move to the left, and then I follow number 66, Joe Jacoby. Now watch Jacoby. He and Grimm both are going to pull. See Jacoby? Now Riggins, he says the first thing I look for is 66, and just run right off his block. He just put Dennis Thurman on the ground, and he didn't even have to bend over to do it. Well, that's all he did. He bent over the boom here. Wow.
Dennis Thurman doesn't want to go into that forest again. First down, Redskins. They give to Riggins again. He's over the right side for maybe 3. Randy White on the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, talking about Randy White, we were talking to Russ Grimm last night, number 68, the left guard for the Redskins. And he said the toughest guy I have to play all year is Randy White. He said, but I'll tell you one thing, he's a lot tougher here in Texas Stadium than he is up in Washington. He said, I think he's a better player on artificial turf. He said, but that doesn't mean it. I mean, he's tough anywhere you go.
Well, he's so quick. Riggins said before the game, I feel better than I have all year. And he's running like he does. The fake is to Riggins. It's outside to Art Monk. Catch number 89 for him this year. He leads the entire NFL. First down, Redskins.
I tell you, he's been an outstanding player for these Redskins because they've had so many injuries. And, when Charlie Brown went down, they started to lose their receivers. Art Monk was the only healthy one they had, and he had to play left, right, the middle. And I'll tell you, Joe Gibbs said he's done the most outstanding job he's ever seen by a wide receiver.
Monk would be up on that list you just looked at with a few more catches. Bates is in the game as a linebacker. Here he comes. Handoff is to Riggin. Riggin is to midfield. Mike Hegman wrapped him up. Last time these two met was earlier this year up at RFK Stadium. We were there. Riggins put on some show. That's the book on what he did that day.
You know, and that's the type of team the Redskins are. I mean, they have to be able. They got that big offensive line, the Hawks. They got to pound that big Riggins in there behind them, and that sets up everything else they do, all the play passes and those types of things.
Second down. They need 5. Theismann drops and throws. Calvin Muhammad had the throw, and he dropped.
I'll tell you, he did, and it wasn't one of those things that he heard footsteps. You know, a lot of people say that, but the thing that Muhammad was trying to do here is he was just trying to start running. I'll tell you, old Riggins, he'll run with that ball when he has to, but he'll come in and he'll help on that pass protection, too. Did you see him in there on Anthony Dickerson?
Pretty good joke. 3rd and 5. Ball at midfield. Joe Washington has taken Riggins' place. Theismann outside. Monk. Everson Walls on the coverage. Good throw from Theismann, and Monk has catch number 90.
And that was very close to a touchdown here because Walls almost misses. He almost lets Monk get away. It's only for the sideline. Watch here. He catches the out. Now, he starts thinking the sideline. Had he started thinking of turning up, there was no one behind. There was no one behind Walls there. That's the one they have on the chalkboard there, but they have him going like up, in, and up, deep. He went up and out on that one.
Did you do that?
Yeah. Last night I do it in my room on the sheet.
Theismann quickly outside to Calvin Muhammad. And that one's over for the time being. Walls is up there with him. Pickup of about 5.
Talking about pickups, when the Redskins picked up Calvin Muhammad from the Raiders, that was a good pickup for them. And Joe Gibbs was saying last night that they've had so many injuries, but one good thing could come out of it. And he said it's this guy right here, Calvin Muhammad, because he could be good for us for a number of years.
Here's something we haven't seen the Cowboys do, John. They take Dickerson out and put Bill Bates in as a linebacker. Warren, the motion man, Riggins over the right side, lunges. He's going to be close. He may have the first down. I think he does. Randy White tripped him up. By the way, the word on Darrell Grant, the defensive tackle for the Redskins, is that he has a strained left knee, and at this point, it's unknown whether or not he'll be able to return.
The Redskins have always been the 2 tight end type of team. Now they're using a lot more 3 wide receiver look, and that's why the Cowboys have an extra defensive back in.
1st and 10 from the 27. Redskins trying to tie it up. Theismann, I think, calling an audible. He gets to Riggins straight ahead. And Riggins barrels down to about the 12. Dexter Clinkscale. Michael down, tripped him up. That, I'm sure, was an audible.
Well, when Riggins told you that he was ready to go and he feels better than he has all year, looks like he knew what he was talking about before the game. Watch this. It's a little log play. Center blocks back. The left guard comes up on the middle linebacker. Riggins just follows him right in there. It takes a couple to bring that big guy down when he gets started, gets those shoulders square.
Sure does. 8 carries, 51 yards for Riggins. Good block by Grimm, as you pointed out. Riggins again. This time he is hammered down right at the line of scrimmage. Jim Jeffcoat and Randy White.
Randy White made a nice move on that one. He started an inside charge. Grimm started taking him to the inside. White was strong enough just to stop. Let's see if we can see it. Watch Randy White. He's going to start inside towards us here. Grimm starts taking him that way. White is so strong he could stop and work back and get that one arm out there to slow up Riggins. Look at those arms. No wonder one of them can slow up a guy.
He might be having his best year ever. That's the book on Riggins today.
Grimm would say so.
Yep. Second down and 9. Theismann back. Pumps it down the middle. It's batted down. Ed Jones got the big hand on it. That's the 14th pass he's knocked down this year. That's like having another defensive back.
Well, you know it is, because you can block Ed Too Tall Jones, but he's 6'9", and all he has to do is get his hands up. Now watch him here on the left of the screen. He's coming inside. See, he's really pass protect pretty well. But you see, he's so big until he just goes whap and just knocks that thing down. Of course, there was Lockhart right there on Theismann. Watch Eugene Lockhart hit Theismann as he throws the ball.
3rd and 9 at the Dallas 10. Theismann looking around. Bates. The first man there.
That's why they have Bates in there. Bill Bates comes from the left of the screen. Let's watch him right here on that blitz. Theismann gets a big push up the middle too, but watch number 40 come from the left of the screen. See, he looks like he's covering. It's a little delay. He goes past the blocker, and Theismann couldn't do anything. That was a pretty good push by the whole deal.
The attempt by Mosley is good from 31 yards out, and the Redskins get on the board. It's 7-3, Dallas leading. 8.5 minutes left to play in the first half. 7-3, Cowboys over the Redskins. The Redskins went 66 yards, took 14 plays to get it there. Mosley hit from 31 yards out. Hayes kicks off. Chuck McSwain to the 23. By the way, Bates got credit for a half a sack, along with Jim Jeffcoat, when they knocked Theismann down before the field goal. And perhaps we'll have a chance to look at that in just a moment. Dallas 7, Washington 3. Dallas 7, Washington 3. John Riggins had his jersey off for a moment. Now he's putting his pads back on. I don't think it's an injury problem. I think it's just an equipment adjustment. Tony Dorsett is the lone setback. As White goes back to throw. As time goes for Cosby. Almost. Curtis Jordan, the defender.
Yeah, that's about as good a throw as you can make and not have a completed pass. You talk about something just being inches off the fingertips. In fact, that was probably a catchable ball. I think had Cosby just run through that one a little more, he would have had it. Can't blame Danny White for that one.
No, you can't.
Hey, he is a lot more confident today than I have seen him this season.
Now we have Ron Springs, the fullback. Here come the Redskins. Here go the Cowboys with the screen pass, and look out for this. Dorsett down the sideline, out of bounds by Darrell Green. 39-yard gain.
Tony Dorsett on the screen. Big play guy for the Cowboys. They have to get the ball in his hand. Watch the lineman come out there. There's the center, Rafferty. He gets the first block right there. Tony Hill, number 80, is just going to get a little hold up right there. Just enough to let Dorsett get up the sidelines. And see right there, he stepped out of bounds just before Darrell Green knocked him out of bounds. You know, these wide receivers don't have to make big blocks. All they have to do is just get in the way a little, like Tony Hill did there on Curtis Jordan. You see, just that little getting away, let Dorsett get by him.
This is Newsom rambling into the Redskins secondary. Newsom down the sideline. Kaufman takes him out of bounds.
That's why Tom Landry put Jimmy Newsome in the offense as a starter. Said I need a big play guy in there, a guy who may pop a run once in a while, who may catch a big pass. Just got by Dave Butts there, made a nice cut to the outside against all the grain, and then up the sideline, and Darrell Grant just catches him from behind. That's a right guard, number 65 there, Kurt Peterson. He just hit Butts and then just pushed him with his right hand enough to let Timmy Newsome get by.
Keep in mind now that injury we told you about a minute ago. Darrell Grant is not playing defense for the Redskins. This is Dorsett. Dorsett to the 3. Olkowitz made the tackle.
See Tom Landry over there. He has his play chart. He has all the players looking in, see what he's going to call next. What Joe Gibbs is doing, he's writing down some notes of plays and things that he wants to do now that he's down in a different situation. He's writing down some plays that he's going to call the next time they get the ball.
And the way things have been going, they're not going to get the ball very much. Second down from the 2. White rolling. Cosby touchdown. For the extra point with Hogaboom holding. Has taken a 14-3 lead over the Redskins with 7:08 left to play in the first half. Septian to kick off. Good kick. Nelms retreats 2 yards deep in the end zone. Nelms is cut down by Bill Bates.
You talk about your big play guys, and you're usually talking about an offensive player, but Bill Bates is that type of guy on defense and special teams. Watch him come down there, run through the sun, playoff blockers. He just has a nose for that ball, and then once he gets there, he's a good tackle. He just throws his body in there, wraps those arms around, takes him down. Bully Bill Bates out of the playground. Tough guy in the playground, elementary school.
Tough guy in the ball yard, too. First and 10. Redskins, their own 17. Theismann goes to work. With time. Monk out of bounds at about the 45. Everson Walls knocked him out of bounds. Art Monk is dangerous.
And I tell you, Joe Theismann made a nice throw here in getting that ball over Everson Walls. Because we'll see it here. It's a zone type of coverage. Watch him. He looks to the left first, comes back to Monk. Now watch, there's Walls. He gets it over Walls and right into Monk. And Monk takes a whack from Dexter Clinkscale on the sideline. Clinkscale is all padded up there. You see him, looks like a linebacker. He got gloves and elbow pads and all kinds of stuff on there.
Tell you what, Art Monk is a big, strong guy. He can take a lot of those whacks. Charlie Brown comes in now. Theismann scrambles, got some room. Theismann down at the Dallas 38. 14-yard gain, first down, Joe Theismann. Really is a remarkable guy, this number 7.
Well, you know, it's the same type of thing that we talked about earlier. On a pass rush, unless you have someone in all the pass rush lanes, he's going to find an open one, as he did there, hit it, and then give you that slide after he picks up the first down.
Always aware of exactly where he is. First down, Redskins. The Dallas 38. Charlie Brown takes the zip for from Joe. Rod Fellows and Dennis Thurman on the defense.
Well, I'm sure they're all glad to see Charlie Brown back in there. You know, he had that ankle and Achilles problem earlier. He just came back off that, and then last Thursday against the Vikings, he hurt his knee. Practiced Wednesday, they thought he was okay, and then he came back on Thursday and couldn't go. Last night, Joe Gibbs didn't even know if Charlie Brown could play today.
Said we'll have to wait until we see the warm-up. 2nd and 1. There at the Dallas 29. Theismann gets to Washington. Washington to the 25. First down. Ed Jones tripped him up.
Well, Joe Washington still has those little moves, doesn't he? He put on about 3 of them before he got to the line of scrimmage, and he put on about 2 more after he got there. Had those little wiggles.
Like Walter Payton, they can jump from side to side so quickly.
He moves everywhere quickly, Joe Washington. Always whistling. Walks around whistling all the time.
Even now. Monk is the move man. Theismann comes back. Here's the blitz. Look out, Joe. Frank Scale came from the blind side.
Sometimes the way Dexter Clinkscale is wearing those pads, those elbow pads and wrist and the hands, he looks like a linebacker. That's what Joe Theismann said last night. He said, you know, they put those guys like Clinkscale and Bates in 40 numbers. He said they ought to put them in 50 numbers. They're just linebackers anyway. Joe didn't see that linebacker coming from behind him.
Hard to pick them all up, isn't it? 2nd and 10. Scale and Bates lined up close again. Linebacker position. Theismann back to throw. Battled away by Everson Walls. But a penalty marker goes down. Walls had a hand on him. Art Monk was the receiver.
I think what he had here, I think he batted it down with one hand and had the other hand on the shoulder pad. I'll tell you, on that pattern, Joe Theismann didn't see him, but one of the Redskins, I think it was Didier, was running free in the middle of the field. It would have been a touchdown. Let's watch this here. Walls on Monk. Now, he does knock the ball down, but I think, well, right there he grabbed him. That can be the penalty right there if they didn't call it before. And he did have the left hand on, so he had old Everson Walls had a little double dipper there. That's why he didn't complain when he saw that flag. I knew I did it.
1st and 10 Redskins at the Dallas 15.
Stuff out there being a corner and having to cover Art Monk.
Oh, yeah.
My guys just always say, hey, Coach, I'm on an island out here. Lonely.
Well, he's out there with Calvin Muhammad this time. And Fellows has Monk. Theismann gets to Washington, and down he goes from Randy White from behind.
You know, that's that same play that we saw earlier, that counter that Riggins ran. But watch as the guard and tackle start to pull. Watch Randy White just gets in behind him. Rick Donnelly, the center, tries to block back. But it's hard to block back when Randy White's the guy you're blocking back on. He just gets right in behind those pulling guys.
2nd down and 12. Clock running at 4:10 left to play. First half. Come. Theismann has it batted away again. That time by Michael Downs.
I'll tell you, Ernie Stautner said that they're coming after him. They are coming after him with a lot of people. What, 26 downs here? He works his way through some guys. He looked like too tall there. Oh, Michael too tall down. Yeah, man, he got that, Rush got that hand up just like too tall.
Looked like Dr. Downs.
Dr. Too Tall down.
3rd down and 12. Redskins at the Dallas 17. They're showing them blitz and pressure again. No flag. Theismann fires over the head of Calvin Muhammad. And there still is no penalty marker. Everson Walls on the defense. Redskins upset.
Well, they did looked like there was a little bump down there. Let's watch Walls again on Calvin Muhammad. He's trying to see the quarterback and the receiver at the same time. He's coming up for the ball. There is a bump there, but I think that's okay.
That's a pretty good play.
I think a defender, when the ball's in the air, he has to be able to run up to get it, too.
Mosley from 35 will have another go at it. And a successful goal, and that makes it 14-6. You get down, but you can't get in. Before the day's over, that's going to hurt. Drive, 9 plays. They went 65 yards, and they came up with 3 by Mosley as Jeff Hayes kicks it off. Deep kick to Chuck McSwain. And he stays. Started out, but Gary Allen said no. Remain where you are.
Gary Allen not only said no, he jumped in front of him, so he had to remain where he was.
CBS Sports next Saturday, NCAA basketball. Noise. White back to throw. Under pressure. Hit by the Redskins, Dave Butts and Charles Mann. And Dexter Manley also there. I think Manley was first. Danny White was slow getting up.
I think Danny White looks like he felt all 3 of them. Let's watch this rush. What they do is they put a man over the center, then they overload the left side of the Cowboys, then they get the big push from that side. See, 3 guys coming from the left defensive side. Mann is the first guy there. Manley's the second guy there. They high-low him.
The sandwich. On the 20 again, they'll go. White gives to Dorsett. Dorsett, perhaps 3. Really is a mutual admiration society right there.
Well, it is. You know, Joe Gibbs is a heck of a coach, and I know what he was talking about Theismann. You can't do anything about the last time you're down there. We're talking about the next time you get down there.
Mike Renfro on a strike from White with Darrell Green on defense. 9 yards and a Cowboy first down. First down, Cowboys. White goes back to work quickly. Intended for Dorsett, no flags. I wonder. Neil Olkowitz on the stop.
Well, it looked like he was tackled after the ball went by him now. I don't think it was. It didn't look like it was before he got there. That was kind of a forced pass anyway, I think. Let's just watch it here. Right there. I don't know where the ball. Yeah, the ball was hitting already. The ball was beyond him. Because it looked like Dorsett's pointing, though. It looked like he did touch him after the ball went by.
Well, you always point.
And Dorsett, you always have to tackle him. You never know if he has it or what he's going to do with it or where he is or anything.
Second down. Renfro again. First down. Time remaining first half. 2 minutes, 11 seconds. Cowboys leading the Redskins 14-6. They have 1 timeout left. White. Here comes the Redskin blitz. Mel Kaufman was not picked up by anybody.
I'll tell you, they had a line stunt on inside. Now watch the stunt where the end comes to the inside, the tackle goes to the outside, and the linebacker comes from outside the tackle. Mel Kaufman. They didn't block him. They were so busy trying to pick up those line stunts of the Redskins that no one looked at Kaufman.
Just checking the offensive line setup for Dallas. Kosderick, who started, is out, and Brian Baldinger is now playing right offensive tackle.
You know, we always talk about a line stunt. Let's show what one is, where the end comes first, the tackle crosses behind him, this end comes, they're doing it on both sides, tackle comes behind, the middle linebacker comes, and look, they got all this stuff going on in here, so no one sees Mel Kaufman come from the outside. But watch all those line stunts, those guys crossing. See him on both sides. The middle linebacker. The Cowboys are all in their pack trying to get all that stuff. Here comes Kaufman from the outside on Danny White.
There is number 62, Brian Baldinger, who's now the right tackle in place of Posterick. Posterick has a twisted knee. He came in with a bad knee, and Baldinger has taken his place. There's Darrell Grant moving around. He had a bad knee earlier. Rafferty points to him.
Darrell Grant was going on a stunt there, too. He just got those big arms and legs started a little early. I think what happened, I think the Cowboys were shifting. Now watch their line, the offensive line of the Cowboys. See that shift? Well, Grant read that as the ball movement. So he's reading something. Those defensive guys just read anything that moves. That was a shift, so he started taking his stun on the shift.
That makes it 2nd and 13 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. The ball's at the 40. There's Grant moving again. Over the center. White. Who has got somebody? Mike Renfro. Renfro, touchdown, Cowboys.
Mike Renfro, that's his 3rd big play. 3 big plays on that drive by Renfro.
Septien hits the extra point. Cowboys go out in front 21-6. 80 yards in 7 plays. And Raphael Septien to kick off. The Cowboys drive 7. The number of plays, 80 yards. Mike Renfro had a big series. Kick. Delms in the sunlight coming out. Hit at the 20. Looked like Vince Albritton, the first man to hit, along with Jeff Rohr. Next Saturday here on CBS. A hot first half for Danny White. Joe Washington in the game now for the Redskins. Throw. Outside Joe Washington. Chased by Bates and taken out of bounds and down by Bates. The other score, and so many of them mean so much. This one here is 21-6 Cowboys in St. Louis. The Cardinals beat the Giants 31-21. So they pull even with the Giants, and the loser of this game, Green Bay 20-14 over Chicago. The Bears' home field advantage disappearing. Pittsburgh 23-20 over Cleveland. The rest of them right after this play. Theismann back to throw. Didier is the receiver. First down, Washington. Stopped by Dexter Clinkscale. The rest of the scores. Washington has the ball, 1st and 10, their own 37. Alvin Muhammad is split wide to the left, and Art Monk is out wide to the right. Dallas cornerbacks right up with him. Theismann chased, and down goes Theismann by Jim Jeffcoat. Now May goes over next to Grimm, and Stark comes in at right tackle. Too tall. Jones knocks the ball loose, and it's still loose. Redskins have it.
Tell you, that's a tough thing. George Stark just came in. He goes at right tackle. Let's watch him here. He goes against Too Tall Jones. He has to come in off the bench. Watch him. Too Tall gets a good jump on him. He gets him pushed. He's going to run right around. Stark. Theismann was looking downfield. Just started to set up, and Too Tall was right on him.
Now Jacoby is back, and Mark May, who had moved to left tackle, has moved back to right tackle.
Stark had to say, that's no fun doing in one play like that against Utah. He ran right around me.
Well, Starks had a bad knee. Ball is hammered and loose again, and the Redskins get it back. A vicious hit by Randy White on Joe Washington. Knocked the ball loose, and Theismann got it back.
Randy White's coming out here today and says, I want to take these guys on all by myself today. Jeff Goat, he had a big play. Tutall had a big play in that series. Let's watch what happens here. Randy White just makes a move on Grimm. He was down on the ground. It wasn't Randy White. It was Smirek that hit him. It was a left tackle that got him.
Wow.
Smirek was in there on a pass rush. He was going on a pass rush. He's the pass rushing left tackle of the Cowboys. Comes in for John Dutton. He was running on a pass rush. He said, look what I got here. I got Joe Washington.
Gary Allen back deep for the Cowboys, who just used their last timeout, hoping to get some more points on the board. Jeff Hayes will punt for the Redskins, standing back at his own goal line. Wow. A lot of things happening very quickly.
By defensive linemen. Jeff Coat had one, Tutall had one, and then Don Smirek. Stotner will be proud over there in the sideline.
Hayes. Good kick. Super kick. Not much room. The Redskins are always good on special teams, as I'm sure you know. 48-yard punt, 6-yard return, so a 42-yard net for Hayes. Coming up at the half. Scores and highlights, and there are a lot of them, with Brent Nerve and a farewell to Phillips. Those are sad words to say. Other scores, second quarter, the Rams over Houston, 20-13. Eric Dickerson, as you know, chasing O.J. Simpson's all-time record, and 6-6 between San Diego and Denver. Springs for 6. They're going to have to hurry to do much more with this. Septian over getting loose. Clock still running with 15 seconds left, and White's going to go to work in the air. If he has time. He doesn't. Second sack by the Redskins. Dexter Manley was the first man there.
You know, Danny White. Excuse me, John. No, Danny White was saying yesterday that last week when he had the 4 interceptions, he said he tried to force the ball. He said today, if they're there, he's going to take the sack.
Glenn Titensel, who's played very well as the offensive left guard, might have been shaken up. Looks like he is concerned a little bit as they head for the locker room at the half with the score. Dallas 21, Washington 6. Second half to come. Cowboys 21, Redskins 6. Pat Summerall and John Madden and Raphael Septien set to kick off in the direction of Mike Nelms, number 21. Didn't get it all. Nelms at the 16. He could be dangerous this time. Nelms hit by Steve Diassi. Let's look at the first half statistics.
You know, I think one of the big things in addition to these statistics here, you see the yards passing. The Cowboys had 198-77 to the Redskins. But more important than that is the Redskins, if they get down there, when they get down there again, they have to score touchdowns. I mean, they did have some drives, and they had to settle for field goals.
First down, Washington, as the crowd again comes back to life. Briggins is hit by Dutton with some help from Too Tall Jones, I think.
That's the type of thing that I think the Redskins will do. You know, establish it. I never believed in that establish the run to throw the pass, but with this Redskin team, I do. I mean, I think they have to make that defense anchor in, keep all those guys in to stop Briggins. Then they're much more successful throwing.
Redskins still have Riggins set up behind Theismann. Back, Theismann goes outside to Calvin Muhammad, and again it's batted down, this time by Jeff Coat.
Of all the teams in defense, I think the Cowboys do a better job at this than anyone. Now watch Jeff Coat. He's the guy right here at the bottom of the picture. Starts his rush on Jacoby. Stops, can't get there. Just put your hand up there. You know, that's one of the toughest things to teach, that guys are always trying to beat guys. But if you just push them, get a couple steps, then put your hands up, that's tough for any quarterback.
Makes it 3rd and 6, and Joe Washington has replaced Riggins. Motion. Almost picked off by Bill Bates. Almost a touchdown. They went for Washington. Bates guessed correctly.
Bill Bates has always been a guy to knock things down. He's never been a guy to catch him. He gets a jump on this ball. He sees Theismann look. He sees Theismann throw. He gets a jump. He gets out in front of it. Oh, my gosh, right through those gloved hands. So he likes to knock things down anyway. People, balls, markers.
Pedestrians.
Kids in the playground when he was a kid in the playground.
Gary Allen back deep. There's Jeff Hayes will punt for the Redskins. Rushing, he got off another good punt. Allen. 27-yard line to the 30. And Dallas will take over at that point. A 40-yard punt by Hayes. 3-yard return. They net 37. Cowboys 21. Washington 6. John Riggins has gone to the oxygen. Of course, he does that after he's carried the ball 40 times. Just looking down, John, at the Redskin bench, Russ Grimm seems to be in some kind of pain. First half of possessions. 5 times the Cowboys had it. They got 3 touchdowns. Dorsett, the lone setback, and they give to him. Ball is high in the air. Juggled, and they chase, and they still chase. It finally went out of bounds, and the last guy to really have it was Dorsett. I never saw a fumble like that before.
That'll be the Cowboys' ball. That ball just popped straight up in the air. Watch it here. Dorsett is going to run. He's going to start on a counter move, start to the right, go back to his left, get in behind his tackle, Pozderac. He misses the block there. Now, as he turns upfield, watch him right here as he gets hit. The second hit knocked the ball out, spun Dorsett around. Green jumped up, tried to catch it at its highest point, couldn't get it. Then there's just all kinds of bodies and collisions. Watch the second hit in there that knocked that ball right out of there.
It's by Coffey, the hit that knocked the ball straight up in the air.
Curtis Jordan misjudged it. He was like an out.
A loss of 8 as they give to Springs. Newsom, beg your pardon. They'll bring up a 3rd down situation.
I'll tell you, I think that's the break that the Redskins needed. They needed that type of thing to get a turnover. There hasn't been a turnover yet in this game. They were looking for that type of thing to get some field position, then get the ball in the end zone.
Here's Russ Grimm. Mentioned a minute ago that they were looking at him on the sideline. Looked like it might have got the finger in the eye or something like that. 3rd and 14. Cowboys at their own 27. Redskins fake a blitz. Now here they come. Pass is picked off by Darrell Green. Touchdown Redskins. Intended for Donnelly. 32 yards by Darrell Green. That turns the whole complexion of things around.
Darrell Green knew that in the first half they got a big play on him on that stop and go by Mike Renfro. He said at halftime, he was telling us last night that he is a big play guy, and he said he's counted on to make these big plays. He gave up one, but right here in the bottom, watch him get that jump there, get up in front of Donnelly, catch that ball, and now watch these defensive guys turn into offense. There's Darrell Manley, number 72. He'll lead him into the end zone. Dexter Manley, I mean. Darrell's and Dexter's.
Touchdown That makes it 21-12. And Mark Mosley in to try the extra point with Theismann holding. Good.
They were just talking about turnovers. There hadn't been any. That was the thing Tom Landry wanted to eliminate in his offense. Right here in their first possession, they give one, or more, the Redskins take one. Darrell Grant takes this one. Jumps up in front. There's Manley. Look, he turns like a pulling guard. He says, follow me in here. I got it. Green says, I don't even need you.
Touchdown, Darrell Green, and that makes things a little more interesting. 21-13. Russ Grimm over on the Redskins sideline, still being checked by the medical staff. The Redskins, Darrell Green, have put themselves right back into this contest. 21-13, Dallas leading. Hayes lines the kickoff in the direction of Chuck McSwain. They let it bounce. McSwain handles. Fumble! Out comes the football. Redskins come up with it. Tell you what, as soon as you talk about no turnovers, here they come.
Just as soon. That didn't even wait any plays. They just started popping out there. Ball laying on the ground, popping out of guys, interceptions. Watch McSwain on this one. You always want you get the guy. Otis Wansley is going to make the hit. Watch him come in there, hit the ball, knock it out, right into 4 Redskins. Anthony Washington came up with it.
There's Otis Wansley, that valuable man on those special teams.
And that's why he's so valuable.
First down, Redskins at the Cowboy 31. And here they come back into the contest, and now the Redskins have to take a timeout. Big weekend, big final weekend coming up. First and 10, Redskins at the Dallas 31. 21-13 score. Monk went in motion. Theismann goes right to work to Monk. Fellows takes him out of bounds. Art Monk is the guy who hasn't been hurt all year long and who's played so very, very well.
You know, Art Monk is one of those guys that doesn't talk to the press, so therefore you don't hear a lot of quotes. I mean, you don't hear Art Monk says this, Art Monk said that, because he really doesn't say anything. But Joe Gibbs said he's one of the nicest guys that ever played. He just doesn't like all that outward stuff.
That's the list, and that's up to date. He has 92 catches. He needs 9 more to set or tie the all-time record. Here's Theismann back to work. It's the Didier. Didier to the Dallas 15. Stopped by Fellows.
Ron Fellows, you know, he's not a very big guy, the corner out here. In fact, he's called Bird Legs is his nickname, but he does a pretty good job on Didier. Didier says, I got a little one here. I'm going to run right there. I'll run right over him. Fellows hangs in there pretty good. Takes him on square, like head up, knees bent, toes in.
Didier's about 240. He was Neil Lomax's receiver at Portland State. First and 10, Redskins at the Dallas 15. Theismann to work again. Pass is incomplete, intended for Warren. Mike Hegman was with him.
And this is the area on first down. They went to the pass here. This is the area. This is the 3rd time they've been down in this area. They've had to settle for 2 field goals. I think that sometimes, you know, they've been pretty successful over the years just running John Riggins in there when they get there. They haven't done that today.
Second and 10 from the 15. They have Riggins in the game. Most vocal crowd at Texas Stadium. Theismann does something about an audible. Down he goes. The 5th sack of Theismann by the Cowboys. They just didn't have it handled.
Yeah, they did, and it happened over their left side. Because of Russ Grimm's injury, Ken Huff is now playing a left guard. He blocked to the outside. Bates comes up the inside. Dennis Thurman comes from the outside. And Clinkscale, Dexter Clinkscale was also there. That's 3 defensive backs in there.
23 sacks in 3 games for the Cowboys. 3rd down and long. Joe Washington has replaced Riggins, and Didier goes in motion. No blitz this time, and Theismann has some time. And has a touchdown to Calvin Mohammed.
Calvin Mohammed may not have all those options down, but he sure knows how to beat people, and he sure can get deep and give this Redskin team some big plays.
Right back in it comes Washington. It's going to be 21-20 if Mosley is good with Theismann holding.
Started with the turnover.
Usually does, doesn't it? Mosley for the extra point. 21-20. Flag down, however.
That's when the extra point will stay, and the penalty will go on to the kickoff.
Personal foul, running into the kicker. Defense, penalty will be on the kickoff. Points are good.
He said points are good. He means point is good. It's only 1 point. But here's the thing that set it up. Watch Otis Wansley. Now he's going to come down here. Chuck McSwain is a runner. Wansley, 39. Watch him hit there. The ball knocks out, and the Redskins get the ball in good field position. So then what do they do with it? Let's watch Calvin Mohammed here. He's going to come up, then he's going to come inside, see? Like he's going to the post. He's going to stop, make a move on Ron Fellows, back out here to the corner. Theismann gets it up over Fellows and into Mohammed in the end zone. Watch what Theismann thinks about it.
He knows it's a good throw. 21-20. Whoa. The word on the scoreboard about Russ Grimm, the fine all-pro offensive guard, is that he has an injured eye and his return is questionable. Chuck McSwain, no fumble this time. Might be a little fracas, but no fumble. Peter Cronin and Steve Diassi. The turnover story. No sooner had we said that there had not been a turnover in the game than there were two. And they've changed this from a comfortable situation for Dallas to a critical situation for Dallas. There's Russ Grimm heading for the locker room. Danny White back to work. To Cosby. Shy of a first down by a couple. Mel Kaufman made the hit that stopped him. So the winner of this game will have first place outright in the NFC East. Dorsett. Dallas first down. He broke some tackles, and Curtis Jordan was the last man. They'll move the sticks. He really took a jolt last week in the game against the Eagles.
And then he came back in the second half and had a big half.
First down, Dallas, as White goes back to throw, and he has to get rid of it quickly. It's to Donnelly. Incomplete. Second down. Renfro in motion. White back to throw. They blitz again. White gets rid of it. To Cosby and knocked away by Ken Coffey.
You're talking about Russ Grimm. He's the type of guy when they made offensive linemen and linemen in general. I think they were thinking about Russ Grimm. You know, that type of guy, I mean, a big guy. And, you know, look, I mean, you know, call him hogs. It looks kind of that way. Fits in, big, strong guy. Let it go, get dirty, muddy, those types of things. That's Russ Grimm. And then play hard.
6'4" and 280 or thereabouts. Tony McGee. About the only guy in the NFL now who still wears those black high-top shoes, especially. Here they come with the pressure. Lee Hill will have a Dallas first down. They read it well. They read it perfectly. Dallas first down at their own 46. They lead by a point. Was to a dancing Dorsett. There had been words around that Tony never got hit hard, but think about this. September 20th, 1975, Pittsburgh against Oklahoma. Norman, Oklahoma. Watch this. That, by the way, was the worst game he ever had. That knocked him out of the game. Now, last week against the Eagles. That'll clean out any sinus problems. Wide. Duck Hoffby in Redskin territory. Rich Mullet on the stop. 3 yards short of a first down.
But that's not bad. If you can only think of one like every 10 years, that's a pretty good percentage.
That's good for the pension fund. Here's Light back to throw. He has some time. He has a man open. It's James Jones. It'll be a Dallas first down. He's out of bounds. If he didn't fall down, it could have been more. No flags. That's always today what I keep looking for. There are none. And we don't talk about much is Herbert Scott. He's an all-pro guard who's moved to tackle. You don't mention him much, but he's really done a good job. The Cosby, and the pass is almost intercepted by Ken Coffey.
I'll tell you, you talk about Herb Scott. The way you tell he's doing a good job is you haven't heard much from Dexter Manley.
You watch him on the last play?
I did. He just stayed right in front of him all the way. Let's just watch this at the end of the play. Coffey makes a nice move. He jumps up there, and the ball just, he has it in his hands. It just goes right out. Look at that right leg, though, the way that thing got twisted under there. Whew.
Surprised he could still walk after that.
Talking about cleaning out sinuses, that'll stretch ligaments.
Second down and 10 from the Redskin 37. 8:45 left, third quarter. Dallas 21, Washington 20. Here comes the blitz. Right. Almost to Cosby, but picked off by Darrell Green. The Redskins come up with it. White had some room to run. He made the tackle on Darrell Green along with Timmy Newsom, and now the fracas continues. Green's second interception of the day.
Yeah, we were talking to Darrell Green last night. That's what he said. He said, I'm part of this team. He said, last year I was a rookie. He said, this year I have to make big plays. And this is the second one that he's come up with. Watch this. Danny White's going to come to the outside here. He's on a rollout. He really has good time out here. Goes to the outside, can't find anything. Comes back inside. Ball's tipped up. Green says, I got the outside. Now I got the ball.
So the Redskins will take over at their own 42. High a point. Well, John, over the years, it's turnovers that the champions usually lead the league in.
You see what happened there. The Cowboys have had 3 turnovers. The first 2 they had, the Redskins scored with them.
Here's Theismann trying to score again with him. And now he's taken down as Jeff Cope and Lockhart swarm all over Joe Theismann. He was going for a bunch.
I tell you, Jim Jeffcoat has been a force in this game coming from the outside. Theismann was on that dash that they run, that organized sprint out. Watch him. He's going to start. Here comes Jeffcoat. He's down at the bottom here. He starts on a stunt. You see that? The inside move. Jacoby can't catch him. He just runs right down the line, right the way Theismann's going. Theismann looks up and says, oh, there's Jeffcoat and Lockhart.
A second sack by Lockhart. Eugene, the hitting machine. Theismann back to throw, and here they come again. Almost picked off by Fellows. Intended for Charlie Brown. Fellows made a diving knockdown and almost came up with it.
I'll tell you, now that Grimm is out of there, Huff is playing the left guard, and the Cowboys are running a lot of line stunts between Jeffcoat and Randy White.
Well, because Huff has moved over there, they have George Stark, number 74, at the right tackle.
You see that? You see how Randy White goes outside, Jeffcoat goes inside? That's the thing that they've been doing this whole second half to that left side of the offensive line.
Third down. And 19 for the Redskins as Monk is wide to the left. Muhammad is wide to the right. but chased again, and down he goes again by Jeffcoat.
Hey, that time that was just Jim Jeffcoat. That's the 7th sack. That was Jeffcoat on Jacoby. Watch him just come to the outside. Starts outside. The tight end helps him there. Then Jacoby comes in, and it was too late. Sometimes you try and give a good tackle help, and you just knock him off. I think that would happen. You know, Donnie Warren was helping with him first, then Jacoby. Sometimes you just let a guy like that block him, you're better off.
Hayes back to kick, and Gary Allen back deep for the Cowboys. Good kick again by Hayes. A dandy. Allen gets back to about the 28. Pete Cronin is down, and now flags come down. 53-yard punt by Jeff Hayes. See what the penalty's about. Tom Dooley is the referee.
It's going to be against the Redskins, and it's either a face mask or an unnecessary roughness. Yeah, that's unnecessary roughness against the Redskins.
I think it's against Rick Walker.
Well, Dexter Manley's the guy out there arguing, either for
Personal
himself.
foul. 39. Receiving team or kicking team. Receiver's ball. First down.
39 is Otis Wansley.
It was Otis Wansley, the special teams captain, the guy who made the big play for him to cause the interception.
Speaking of big plays, there's a guy who's made some today. Number 77 is Jim Jeffcoat.
Let's watch the penalty here. Here's Otis Wansley right here. The play is going to happen here. He gets there late and then maybe also grabs a face mask in addition to it. Now watch, the ball's down, whistle blows. Now here comes Wansley, 39. See right there, he gets the hit, the late hit, and the right hand on the face mask. Those officials don't miss too many of those late hits.
They really don't. First down, Cowboys at their own 44 after the penalty. 7:25 left to play third quarter. Dallas leading by a point. Dorsett with no place to go. The Redskin defense has really come alive. Mel Kaufman led him that time.
You know, you talk about the word intensity and those types of words are just thrown around, but in this game, I can just feel it in the second half. I mean, the level of play has risen 50%. I think that's when you start getting some penalties, you start getting some turnovers, guys jumping offside. Both of these sides are edgy right now.
We're in a situation now where a lot of things can happen, too. A passing situation, second down. 14 yards to go. White back to throw. Intended for Renfro. Not even close. Dave Butts looking on. Renfro is split out wide to the right. Tony Hill is to the left. Out of the shotgun. Going deep for Tony Hill. No flags, no penalty. Anthony Washington right back there with Tony Hill, and Danny White is slow getting up.
Danny White's slow getting up because Tony McGee was right back there with Danny White. Let's watch this. Danny White just throw it. Now watch right there. He gets it from the front. Oh, geez, that was quite a hit there by Brooks, and Tony McGee right over the top of him.
And now Danny White stays in to punt. Only one punt today. Cowboys dominated the first half. The Redskins took advantage of 2 turnovers in the second half. 2 interceptions by Darrell Green. White just barely gets the ball away. Gets a good bounce. I think Danny White might have been a little shaky back there trying to handle it, don't you?
I think so, but it looked like, you know, he got the sack on third down, and that's what you always worry about, that he is a little woozy. Here the ball comes back to him on a bounce. He has trouble handling it there. I think he makes a heck of a play just getting this thing under man right there. How he got that ball past him, it's amazing.
Tough series for that man, Danny White, number 11. He did do an amazing job to get the ball out of there. The defense of the Cowboys face the Redskins with the Redskins just at their own 49. They give to Riggins. Riggins hit by too tall Jones and Anthony Dickerson. He gets a couple. And again, the intensity really has picked up as another little scuffle breaks out.
That was an interesting play. You know, they brought the tight end back in motion trying to trap Randy White. He ran into Randy, and it was like he ran into a building. And Riggins didn't have anything. Watch Randy White right here. Here comes Donnie Ward. Watch when he hits him. Although Riggins did get by him, I'll tell you, Donnie Ward was going, what the heck did I run into?
So Riggins got 2. It's 2nd and 8. Riggins again, pounded, but he stays digging. It's going to be 3rd and short, and that's what they want. And now the penalty flag goes down. That was a late flag.
That was a late flag, and it would come looping over. Probably a late holding penalty against the Redskins.
And a tough one.
Holding, 61 offense, 2nd down.
Ken Huff, who's been trying to block Randy White.
Yeah, he's been starting a right guard, had him move over to left guard. You know what happened? I think his left hand grabs. Watch Randy White will take an outside move. You see his left hand, just put him around it. Then he stays around. Now Randy White comes around. Huff kept his left arm in there. Looks like some wrestling move.
2nd and 18 then with 5:35 left to play 3rd quarter. The Cowboys leading 21-20. Theismann yelling audibles, and the Cowboys showing them now blitz. Theismann to Calvin Muhammad, and he hung on. A couple yards short of the 1st down, but a good catch and a good throw.
Now there is a catch. That ball, Calvin Muhammad comes in here. He's going to run a slant to the inside. He picks that ball right off the carpet. Watch it right down. It wasn't that low, but it looked like it was. That was a heck of a catch, though, coming to the inside. This is one time that they have the blitz on. Riggins picks up Bill Bates, and that's all the time that Theismann needs. You don't have to get Bates knocked down. Just derail him a little.
Joe Washington in on 3rd down. And again, the Cowboys show blitz, and this time they're there. And Theismann is gone in the hands of Bates. They just couldn't pick it up. There are too many of them.
Well, that time they didn't get Bates derailed. The play before that, look at Joe Gibbs. He's saying, no, we work on that all doggone week. Just bringing too many guys. Let's see. Now here's Bates. He's the guy who's going to be. See how he times it? He stays back here, and he's going to come in and hit this gap just as the ball snaps. Watch him. He sneaks up, sneaks up, sneaks up. The ball snaps. Center blocks right. Left guard blocks left. No one blocks Bates except Theismann.
Washington made a dive to try to pick him up, but he couldn't get there. 8 sacks by the Cowboys on Theismann. Jeff Hayes back to kick, and Gary Allen back deep for the Cowboys. 4:23 left, 3rd quarter. Hayes. Stay up there a long time. Allen is going to have a tough time handling it. Takes a Cowboy bounce. The Redskins now bat it, and they'll bring it back out. Bring it back to about the 20 after a 29-yard punt by Hayes. Right now, 4 minutes left at Texas Stadium, 4 minutes, 8 seconds. The Cowboys have the ball at their own 21. They lead by a point. Hand off Newsom. Fumble! Wait a minute. The Redskins are saying, we got it. Now they make it official. They do have it.
That's the difference right now. This is a 4th turnover. Watch Newsom. He gets the ball here. He's going to start into his left side. Looks like as he was running through there, he was stripped by Darrell Green, I think it was. Got his right hand in there. Knocked the ball out. It was Darrell Green. Redskins have the ball. I tell you, I know how coaches feel on those types of things. Well,
that's Jim Myers on Landry's right, and Jim Schaffner on the other this side, and they all are looking for stars. 1st and 10 Redskins, the Dallas 23. Here's Riggins. Riggins to the 15. Ron Fellows on the stop.
This is the type of thing that the Redskins have been so successful over the years with John Riggins and under Joe Gibbs. Just hand him this ball, running to the left side, trying to find Jacoby in there, get in there behind Jacoby. Good block by Don Warren, and then that's enough to pick up that 7-8 yards. That's what they have to do, and then get in these 2nd and short. This is the greatest down in football.
12 carries, 66 yards for Riggins. Riggins again. Bangs for a Redskin 1st down. Michael Downs on the stop. But he gets down to about the 11-yard line and picks up a Redskin 1st down.
The thing about John Riggins, when he hits those piles, they go backwards. That's what the fullbacks do. You know, the halfbacks, the tailbacks, you want them to run around. Fullbacks, you want them to make piles go backwards. Watch this. I get the blocking here. He's going to find Jacoby, get in behind Jacoby. Now watch, as he hits there, they don't go back towards the Redskins. They go back towards the Cowboys.
They go the other way. Riggins behind Theismann now, and the give to Riggins again. He cuts back inside the 10. Riggins at about the 8. They can make a 1st down without making the touchdown.
You know, now they're getting into Joe Gibbs's type of football where they can run. It means something. He's telling Don Bro right there, here's the one I want to give him. We're going to keep it on the ground. We're going to knock that thing in there. We're going to give it to our fullback. Probably called 60 gut or something like that. Guts and stuff.
That's what they call it. Behind Jacoby. Of course, Grimm isn't there, but Jacoby is. And Huff is next to him. Monk was in motion. Theismann fires outside. Art Monk knocked out of bounds by Anthony Dickerson. Looks like about 2 yards short of the 1st down. Make it 3rd and about 3, maybe 2.
And this is a big 3rd down. I'm sure that the Redskins know they can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown. But I know being behind 21-20, if they don't pick up the 1st down, they're going to have to kick the field goal, and they don't want to have to kick the field goal with this opportunity.
This is a situation where so many times we've seen them put Didier in motion from left to right and then use him in that right flat. He's way out to the left this time. Riggins did not get the 1st down. They got to go for the field goal now. Jim Jeffcoat on the stop.
Tell you, Jim Jeffcoat has really come into his own in this game today. He's been starting all year. Harvey Martin, of course, he replaced Harvey Martin. But today, he is really playing something. Ooh, you see him in there. There was a stunt. He was into the inside, and they stopped Riggins and took that pile back towards the Redskins huddle.
So Mosley goes from 21 yards out with Theismann holding, and the Redskins have the lead. Washington 23. 21. They've done it with turnovers. It's a heck of a battle. Anderson is closing in on O.J. Simpson all-time record. They're going to bring it out. Next swing to the 16.
There was Otis Wansley, the first guy down there again. You know, the more I see of Otis Wansley and the more I see him making plays, causing fumbles, making tackles inside the 20, the more I can understand what Joe Gibbs says. This guy's too valuable to play on offense. Makes sense to me. I'll tell you, that last score there, that's given the Redskins 17 points as results of turnovers.
And got them right back where they would remain in 1st place if they can hang on to this lead. 1:11 left to go, 3rd quarter. Dorsett and Springs are the runners. White outside the hill. A fumble. Now they say incomplete. Got to hold on to the ball.
I'll tell you, that was pretty close there. Vernon Dean was right up on Tony Hill after he caught that one. Watch it here. Tony Hill, it's a 1st down pass. It's just in lieu of a run. It's a little hook. You see, he let him up the field a little. Now it looked like from here that he had control of that ball.
Yep.
That looked like that could have been a fumble to me.
The Dallas miscues. Wow. 2nd and 10. They rule it incomplete. 1:07 left, third quarter. White back to throw. Does throw. Almost picked off, intended for Tony Hill. Almost intercepted again. Vernon Dean right with him.
Danny White's coming a little too close there, and those almost.
Ooh, yeah.
Looked like Tony Hill made a pretty good play to stop that ball from being intercepted. He looked more, as he comes in here on Vernon Dean, at the end of it, he looks more like a defender than the offender. It looks like Dean is a receiver, and Hill was a defender trying to get his arm in there to knock the ball down.
Darrell Harris has come in to replace, and there is Gary Hogaboom over on the sideline watching what's going on. 3rd and 10. Harris, Hill, and Renfro are the wide receivers. Here comes the Redskin blitz. They go quickly to Hill, incomplete. And there's a flag. That one was pretty obvious. That one was on Darrell Green, and everybody saw it.
Well, Darrell Green was out there. He was on Tony Hill. And again, he's playing inside. Tony Hill took him inside, brought him back outside. Looked like Green thought the only thing he could do is try and tackle him. Watch it here. You see there, he's bringing him inside. Now he's going to cut back to the outside. And Darrell Green right there starts to tackle him before the ball gets there.
Clutch, crucial first down with 58 seconds left to play in the third quarter for the Cowboys. 11 yards they picked up with that penalty. They operate from their own 28. Back goes White. Look out. In the direction of Dorsett. But the heat was on. Rich Malott.
You know, a guy who's doing a good job in here is Kurt Peterson, the right guard of the Cowboys. We see him blocking here against Dave Butt, doing a nice job funneling everything to the inside to give Danny White time. Peterson had been out the last couple of games. Wasn't sure. He knew he could start today, but wasn't sure how long he could play. He's been doing a good job.
2nd and 10. White is now 17 out of 32 for 246 yards. 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. But most of the success happened early. Here they come with a blitz again. Rich Malott all over Danny White.
I'll tell you, they came right over, Titans right over the left guard. Malott did. We see him right here. He's going to run right through this area. Now just watch him. What happens here is we see him as he starts, the left guard blocks out. You see it? And then Malott just runs right up the middle, and he's right on Danny White. That was a missed assignment. You don't block out. Someone has to check the mic before they turn out. That was Glenn Titans.
3rd and 20. That sack brings up 3 sacks by the Redskins. White will operate out of the shotgun this time. Redskins 23, Cowboys 21. To Tony Hill, and he comes up with it. That's enough for the first down. Anthony Washington got there, but too late.
I'll tell you, there's a feeling of relief from Danny White. That was a heck of a throw in this situation. Watch Hill. Again, it's a corner pattern. Or now he starts to the inside, back to the outside. Washington looks like he just misjudged it. He took an angle inside and let the ball get over his head to Tony Hill.
6 receptions for Tony Hill. Word in the Ram game is that Eric Dickerson, not Anthony, has 193 yards and is just 19 away from the record. Of more immediate concern is Danny White to Tony Hill. Almost.
That was one of those adjustments there that Hill again was going to run an outer corner pattern. You see it here. He gets a good move there. Now, Danny White, instead of throwing it to the corner, throws it up over his head. Darrell Green makes a jump, almost gets it.
10 seconds left to play third quarter. Redskins 23, Cowboys 21. Darrell Green with 2 clutch interceptions.
He's had a lot of action today. It seems like everything. The penalties against him. The touchdown was against him. The interceptions. He's getting a full day's work out here.
Right back on second down now. Springs gets into Redskin territory to their 42. Curtis Jordan on the tackle. 14-yard gain and a Dallas first down.
Ron Springs in there for Timmy Newsome now. Same play that he made the touchdown on last week. He just delays, circles out of the backfield, right-hand side of the screen. He'll come back in here. Danny White looks to the outside, turns back, finds Springs right there, hits him between the linebacker and the defensive back. Watch the center here. They're double teaming Dave Butts here. Watch, they start the double team. Rafferty and helping Peterson just pushes Butts right to the outside. That's what you have to do. You have to protect that middle.
Well, Joe Gibbs said to us last night, it's too bad these games can't be 2 out of 3, but they're not. And it boils down to 1 quarter. Down. Going for Tony Hill, and he's got him. Touchdown! And White and Hill read it as it should be read. Septien for the extra point. Over to moving. Got it. 28-23. The Cowboys have recaptured the lead. While we have a minute, Eric Dickerson has carried 26 times and gained 206 yards today. He's 6 yards away from the record held by O.J. Simpson. Comes from a yard deep in the end zone. Hammered is Nelm. Steve Diassi. Victor Scott. Riggins is still the back. And they give the ball to Riggins. And Riggins breaks away. Wrapped up by Eugene Lockhart. Riggins has had that bad back. Hasn't been able to practice or play. Did work out this week. And did say before the game he felt better than he had all year. 16 carries, 80 yards for Riggins.
And I think he got a little jolt on the back that time. He's trying to straighten it out there. I'll tell you, he was telling us a few weeks ago that after a game on Sunday, that for the first 3 days of the week, he can't even sleep in a bed. He has to sleep on the floor. About Thursday or Friday, he can finally get into a bed.
Theismann to Riggins again. And he barrels for a Redskin first down. John Dutton and Randy White combined to stop him, but he got the first down.
This is the type of thing that Riggins does so well. The line just fires out. Just man block and get your guy. Just give him a hole. Huff has to stay a little while longer with Randy White, and he would have had more yardage on that play. Of course, that's easy for me to say. Stay along with Randy White. Yeah, let's see you do it. No, I can't. First down. Theismann almost lost it, scrambled out of it, then comes up with about 3 yards. Peterson over on the sideline. We talked about what a good job he's been doing on Dave Butts all day, getting retaped. That's what, you can tell the tape jobs. Before the game, they put him underneath the socks, and during the game, they just put him right over the socks and shoes and everything. They don't time to take stuff off.
Redskins have it second down and 4 from their own 37. Charlie Brown is split wide to the left. Muhammad is over there with him. Calvin Muhammad. Monk is to the right. Cowboys don't show you any blitz, but they do hit Riggins right at the line of scrimmage. Eugene Lockhart stopped Riggins short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and short.
Gibbs is looking for that next play. He's looking to see what he has on 3rd and short, and he's treating this, instead of a short yardage play, he's decided to treat it as long yardage or a passing down. So he takes out John Riggins and puts in Joe Washington. That 3rd and 2 is a tough one. You know, is it short yardage or is it a passing down? He's deciding, the way the Cowboys are playing defense, that this is a passing down.
They treat it on defense like that. Now there's confusion, and the Redskins have to burn a timeout with 12 minutes left to play. They only have one timeout remaining now, and Dallas leads 28-23. 28, Washington 23. 12 minutes and 1 second left to play. 3rd down and 2. Make it 1.5. They have Joe Washington. They're treating this, the Redskins are, it looks like, as a passing situation. And that's right. And Theismann has the ball batted away by Bates. Bill Bates at the last second wrapped it away.
When you look at most valuable players on a team, Bill Bates in this game can be one of the most valuable. Look, he's up in there faking blitz. He was up in there over the center. Then he had to come all the way out to his right and cover Joe Washington man-to-man, and he gets there at the same time the ball did. He was right up in there in the middle like he was going to blitz, and he faked and ran all the way to the outside and knocked the ball down. That's a football play.
Harry Allen back deep for the Cowboys, and Jeff Hayes back to punt for the Redskins. He can run. Look out for him. Good kick again. Boy, he's had a good day punting. Allen at the 8. Ooh, he's lucky he held onto the ball. 8-yard return. Clutch man, Bill Bates.
Well, Bill, you know, he used to be that special teams guy, and now they're using so much of that 4-0 defense. He's a middle linebacker, and now he's blitzing, covering, special teams, the whole work.
Springs and Dorsett are the runners. This is Dorsett hammered to the turf at about the 17. He picked up a couple. Neil Olkowitz knocked him down. We talked in the beginning, John, about the significance of this game last year when there was so much hoopla and build-up. It was an important game, but it looked like both teams would go to the playoffs, one as the champion and one as the wild card. This time, the way things are developing, the loser may not go to the playoffs.
It's all boiling down to 11 more minutes of football. Wish they had some deal you could press on them to get intensity level. I bet it would be up towards the top.
Right, back to throw. Better hurry, and down he goes. 4th sack. Dexter Manley back there to knock him down. They're trying to set up a screen. Here's the rush.
Well, you know, Manley comes from the backside. See, he's coming from the right-hand side of the screen. He starts upfield. Butts is on a stunt. He's pushing up the middle. Look, White's trying to get the ball. He has to hold it, bring it back down, and in doing that, Dexter Manley got him. This could be the potential receiver here. We see Renfro's working to the inside. Vernon Dean sees he's getting in there and says, I can't let him beat me there. So he just grabbed him and knocked him down. That's one they missed.
One that got away.
And that's why Danny White had to bring the ball down. And that's how Manley got there.
Manley's 2nd sack. White wisely brought it down. Here's White on the draw play. Not much there. Springs, the ball carrier. Rich Milot made the stop. There is news from Los Angeles. The record that almost everybody thought would not be broken has been. The Rams over Houston 27-16. They're in the 4th quarter. And Eric Dickerson has just broken O.J. Simpson's record. He's carried 27 times for 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he now has 2,007. He is truly a great back.
buddy John Robinson may be the happiest guy of all for him, because with his quarterbacks down, he needs that.
White gets off the good kick. Nelms handles. Gets away from one Cowboy, not another one. They are down in quick, good fashion. Nelms had no chance. 47-yard clutch punt by Danny White. No return. Norm Granger was the man down to make the stop for Dallas. 28-23. Wow. Dallas 28, Washington 23. 9:41 left to play in a game that means who goes and who stays. Dallas, all three of their timeouts remaining. Washington just one. 1st and 10, Redskins. Balls at their own 45. Riggins in the backfield. Theismann outside to Don Warren, and Warren will be very close to a Redskin first down. Heckman on the coverage. 9-yard gain, a yard short perhaps.
You know, it's an interesting thing the Cowboys are doing on defense, Pat. Usually, they'll either play their 4-3, their flex defense 4-3-4, or they'll play 4-0, meaning 4 defensive linemen, 7 defensive backs. Now they're playing 5 defensive backs, 2 linebackers, and 4 defensive linemen. Bill Bates is the 5th defensive back.
2nd and 2. 9:07 left to play. Theismann to Riggins. Riggins busts into the secondary. Riggins still going inside the Dallas 35. Michael Downs just couldn't get him down. Ed Jones finally came up with the assist that took Riggo to the bottom.
The only thing that Michael Downs could do is hold on until he got a little help from someone. Because when Riggins gets out there in that open field, you know, he's so big and so strong and has so much power in his legs. Watch, Downs hits him. He gives him everything he had. You know, he'd just come up there. He was willing. He just didn't bring a very big load with him. But he held on.
He looked like he got a ride at Disney World. 19 carries, 101 yards for Riggins. And the Redskins have just used their last time out. 28-23 with plenty of time left. 8:20. Redskins are at the Dallas 33. The Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. You really don't need to furnish much build-up for that match. It's one of the great rivalries in pro football, and it sure has lived up to it today. 28-23. A reverse coming, and it's Art Monk faced by a Cowboy. He beats Michael Downs, and Monk goes down inside the 15, about the 18-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. Downs was up, but Monk was too strong.
I'll tell you, that was a heck of a move by Art Monk, because that didn't fool Michael Downs. This play could have gone for a loss, could have taken all the wind out of the Redskins' sails, but Monk gets the ball from Riggins right here. Now watch the move that he gets by Downs with. He gives him the inside, and then, as you say, his strength, he gave him a straight arm with the right hand, then he's up the sideline, and he makes a big, big play out of what could have been disaster.
He got 17 yards and a Redskin first down. 8:11 left to play. Ball's at the 15-yard line. Theismann retreats and throws down the middle. Incomplete, and there is no yellow flag. Clint Didier was the intended receiver. Downs was there with him.
They look like two defenders right there with Didier. The ball is going to be thrown to him. He comes down. He's running an in pattern right there in the goal line. There's Downs in there behind him. Clinkscale was in front of him. Looked like he just dropped it, didn't he?
That's what it looked like.
He was looking back. He was trying to find a little help from the officials.
8:07 left to play. Monk started in motion one way, comes back the other way, and Theismann looking in his direction. He's got Monk. And Monk doesn't quite get in. Everson Walls took him out of bounds, but it'll be 1st and goal Redskins.
Art Monk comes across in motion. You see him at the end of his motion. He stops, runs just a very quick out on Everson Walls, beats him to the sideline. Now look, he's looking at him. He has that shoulder and that straight arm ready, puts that left straight arm. He wanted touchdown down there, put that straight arm out there, and Walls just grabbed the straight arm.
60 minutes following football, except on the West Coast. First and goal, Redskins at the 1. Monk has caught 6 passes. Look for Riggins left. He got Riggins left. He didn't make it. Dutton was the first man to hit him. They have to have a touchdown. Although in this situation, if they don't get it, they probably would settle for a field goal.
It'll be an interesting thing here as we see Joe Gibbs calling the play. In a game a couple weeks ago, Joe Theismann, or maybe it was their last game, Theismann called a running play and on his own, faked the ball, kept it, bootlegged it into the end zone. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't do it in this series.
That's usually when a bootleg works best, when you don't tell anybody else. They give to Riggins, and Riggins doesn't get in.
The time for the bootleg, the third down.
Clock is running with 7 minutes left to play, 7:05, but before they get another one off, it'll be less than 7.
You know, of all the plays, of all the ways that the Cowboys have improved on defense, I think their goal line defense has improved the most.
Thurman checks in and now goes back out.
I think he just brought in a message.
I think he did.
Probably watch out for the bootleg.
Riggins and Wansley are behind Theismann, who might just go with a quarterback sneak. He gives to Riggins, and Riggins is hammered at the goal line. Touchdown. He got in. Joe Jacoby, I'm just looking at, staggering around the field. Riggins got the touchdown. Jacoby is having trouble staying upright. But Riggins did get in.
I know one thing, we're right here, right down the line. The football has to break the plane of the goal line. We saw it there. Riggins had his shoulder, the ball, and everything on the goal line.
The Redskins go back ahead. 29-28. 30-28 as Mosley hits the extra point. The Redskins went 55 yards in 8 plays. 3:07.
When you get down there around the goal line, you give it to this guy, John Riggins, 3 times in a row, you know that you're going to get a touchdown. Watch him just barrel that thing in there. He's going man-to-man there with Lockhart. They hit, but right there you can see that he's over and scored the touchdown. He's a man's man, a football player's football, a fullback's fullback, and a touchdown getter's touchdown getter.
And a tough guy to go along with all that.
All those things. But that Eric Dickerson runs a lot faster, though. He's prettier. I think he's prettier when he runs.
He claims he's not pretty.
I think he's prettier than Riggins when he runs up.
He is to John Robinson, I'm sure. Hayes' kickoff goes to Chuck McSwain, who downs it in the end zone. The Cowboys will come out to their 20-yard line. 6:29 left to play. The Cowboys have 3 timeouts remaining. The Redskins have none. And they lead. The Redskins do by 2. Riggins Day, 22 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown.
And he just wants to get this thing over with, I'm sure.
Why is he rubbing his left leg? That's a Raphael Septien.
Well, that's his plant leg, see, and they have to concentrate on that leg and tell that leg to plant well when they kick with the right leg. That's what they do.
Well, with a score like it is, he may need both legs, plant and kick.
I'll tell you, though, with a score like that, if I had to have a kicker on my side, that's the guy I'd want doing it.
I agree. 30-28. Redskins leading as White drops the throw, has time. Incomplete. Flags are down. It's going to be roughing the passer.
Oh, and you talk about things that upset a coach. I'm sure Joe Gibbs is going crazy on that one. You just get the score. You just go ahead. You just get the momentum. Then you have a guy, after an incomplete pass, you have a guy hit the quarterback and get a 15-yard penalty. Those are coach killers.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 71 defense.
Charles Mann.
Watch that. You see the ball is already gone. Danny White's just standing there watching it, and Charles Mann comes and hits him from behind. He really didn't look like he meant to. I mean, he said, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to do it, but maybe he was pushed into him, shoved into him, but he sure did give him a shot from behind.
That's the third personal foul for Washington today, the second by Mann. First down, Dallas, their own 35. Dorsett and Springs are the two backs now. To Dorsett. Dorsett to midfield. First down, Vernon Dean stopped him.
I'll tell you, we talk about John Riggins, toughness, short yardage, Eric Dickerson being pretty, but you want to see a quick guy. Watch Tony Dorsett. Once he gets this little trap draw, he hits that thing to trap the guard, pulled and trap run. Crap! He hit that thing, split right off that trap. He was into that secondary before they got out of their stance.
Been a tough year for Tony Dorsett. On top of everything else that happened to him, the struggling year for the Cowboys. His car was broken into Friday night. 10, and White goes back to throw. Has time, goes for Hill, and it's incomplete, and they have the flags. Mike Renfro, the intended receiver. I think this is going to be offensive.
This could be offense. They got the officials talking, the players. They're saying, let's get away. Let's go over here and talk by ourselves.
If that's against Washington, they're in field goal range.
Hey, whatever it is, it's a big one.
Disregard the flag. There is no foul. The ball could not have been caught.
Joe Gibbs says, whew, we dodged one there. Watch it. It's a two players right there at the top.
The ball could not have been caught, they say. There's a little push by Renfro.
I don't know how they can decide. I don't like that rule. Whether it was a penalty or not, I think that's a dumb, and that's what Joe Gibbs is saying there. But how do you know if the ball could have been caught?
Well, I remember in the playoff game, the championship game, as a matter of fact, last year in Washington when the 49ers thought there were a couple of bad calls, Bill Walsh said nobody on the Boston Celtics could have caught that ball. So how do you know? Here come the Redskins blitzing. White got some room. Oh, he's got Tony Hill. He had him. He had him.
That's the thing Danny White was talking about yesterday. He said, you know, having the new guys playing, the Renfros and the Donnellys and so on, he said the big thing is he said, when I scramble, I'm not sure where they are. He said the other guys, when I would scramble, I'd always know where they were. And I think that's what he did to Tony Hill right there. He looks, he said, I had a scramble. Now I want to find someone I know. It's Tony Hill. Oh, look at his reaction and Tom Landry's reaction. Danny's saying, I'm upset. Tom's saying, I'm upset. I'll tell you, they're both going to have a decision at the end of this season.
Isn't that the truth? 5:23 left to play, 3rd and 10.
I think a lot of that decision depends on these last 5 minutes and who wins this game.
Out of the shotgun come the Cowboys. White under pressure and gets rid of somebody, the bunt. Now they say he's in the grass. They say he was in the grass. The Redskins come up with the interception. But they say they had him. 5:14 left to play. 5th sack by the Redskins.
You know, it was funny, the defensive linemen, they always want to sack. They always want to get there. They always want to get the quarterback. That time, they were there. They had him in the grass, and they call it. Now watch, then Brooks was the most upset guy. See, he has him there. Okay, now the whistle is blowing. But Danny White gets rid of the ball, throws an interception. Brooks was down there complaining to the official, saying, I didn't have him, because they got an interception.
So Danny White is back to punt. Mike Nelms back deep to the Redskins. Good kick by White. Chasing Nelms. Handles it, is hit and hammered by Chuck McSwain and knocked out of bounds way back at about the 13-yard line. A 48-yard punt by White, and that's what they net. Nelms was lucky to hold on. Theismann to Riggins, and Riggins in the grasp of Dutton still manages to crumble and rumble for a few yards. They kept him in the game, as you pointed out at the half, John, and it's paid off.
Well, of course, that's paid off, and the turnovers have paid off, too. In the first half, the Cowboys didn't have it, and then they started turning it over. Then the Redskins were able to get back in the game, get Riggins back in the game, get Riggins his 100 yards, and play Redskin-type football, which they're doing now.
That's keep that clock running, and they're doing that now with 4 minutes and 8 seconds left to play. Riggins is the lone setback. You can bet he'll get it again. Riggins is hit by Clinkscale, short of the first down by a couple. Now, there was some, in the first match between these two, there were some comments that passed back and forth between Clinkscale and Riggins. Big John said, if I get in the secondary, I might go looking for number 47.
That's what he said. If I break through, he said, I'm going to just go find Big 47. 47 was looking for Riggins on that play, and he gave him a pretty good pop. But, you know, Clinkscale was saying yesterday, he said, I didn't say that to upset it. What Clinkscale's quote was, he said that the Redskin offensive line was so good that anyone could gain that many yards behind the Hog. He said, even I could do it. That offended Riggins.
Third and short, look out for Theismann. Here's what I was thinking about. Yes, sir. Don Warren. Eugene Lockhart.
I have no idea why Don Warren cut back to the inside. He had to hold outside all the way up the field. But watch everyone take this fake. They're all looking at Riggins. We got to stop him. What? There's Downs in there, Lockhart's in there, the whole thing. Now watch Warren. He has the outside here. He cuts back to the inside. He's trying to he's trying to find a defensive back to hit.
18 yards, nevertheless. And the clock runs with 2:40 left to play, and the Redskins have their first down. He had nothing but space.
He could have ran right up the sideline for a touchdown, it looked like.
Here is Wansley. So pull it all out now. No matter how valuable he is on special teams, now Joe Gibbs is using Wansley.
Well, as Joe said, it all boils down to this game. This is it. He said you go your training camp, the toil, the practice, the hard work, the injuries, the replacements. It all boils down to this one day. This is it. We're either in or we're out.
Cowboys use a timeout. They still have 2 left. More imagination and more notoriety than perhaps any college football player in a long time.
He sure has. He has a lot of charisma. You know, they always say, is he big enough? Is he this or is that? He's right here with us today, and I'll guarantee you he can play. You know, he's the guy that's going to set the standards. You don't worry about big enough or not.
Let's see what the standard is here now. 2nd and 8. 2:26 left to play. Theismann outside the Monk, who's hit quickly by Everson Walls. Short of a first down. 6-yard gain. 2 minutes. Riggins is back with 3rd and 2. The ball at 48. Dallas down to 1 timeout. Theismann looking both ways and yelling. He's going to throw. He looks for Monk. Ball fouled away. They'll have to punt. Cowboys will get another chance. Heckman gets a hand in and knocks it away. Mike Heckman bats it down.
There's the guy you watched right there. He just got, they were trying to get it to Don Warren out here. Heckman just got his right arm in, knocked that ball down. Doug Flutie said he would have passed on that down too.
Nice to know he agrees with Joe Gibbs and Joe Theismann.
No, but he said it before, though. He didn't say it after. Didn't you, Doug? Okay.
Allen back deep for Dallas, and Jeff Hayes will punt for the Redskins.
I would have run to Riggins.
I would have, too. It doesn't appear that they're going to try to put the pressure on, although Bates now is starting to load the gun. Here they come. Hayes gets it away. Good kick. Allen steals it on the run. Is taken down at about the 28-yard line. With 1:58 left to play, they passed the 2-minute warning.
I never thought I would be here, but to be here in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's like coming home again. a dream when you come from North Carolina and a little school down there, and then you play at Duke University, a team that really didn't throw the ball very much. Very fortunate to get in professional football.
As an NFL quarterback, Sonny threw for over 30,000 yards. He's still ranked as the #1 lifetime passer in the NFC. Vince Lombardi said of Sonny, the thing about Jurgensen is he always wanted to win so fiercely. All the great ones have that.
Hall of Fame is a great place. I'm sure that some young kid could come in here and look at these things and make a decision whether or not he would like to be a professional football player.
This is where all those dreams come true, in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Don't miss it.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Excitement. Is this what you want to do?
Better believe it. This is a great game and a great stadium and a great atmosphere in the NFL.
And you'd like to be a part of the NFL someday?
I'd love to.
Huh?
I would.
Oh, great. Congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, there's a guy who really caught some excitement and some lightning in a bottle, didn't he?
I'll tell you, he just knows how to throw and do things and win, play, compete. Words like that you don't measure with a yardstick.
Cowboys down to 1 timeout. A minute 58 left to play. Redskins up by 2 points. White out on the shotgun. Here comes a Redskin blitz. He gets it outside. He's got Springs, and Springs gets out of bounds. That didn't take long. 5 seconds they burned.
I'll tell you, these are important decisions right here. What the Cowboys are thinking, they aren't thinking touchdown. All they need is a field goal. So they need about 30 more yards, and then they'll be in Septien's automatic range.
Well, I tell you, I've been in that situation myself many times, and I know that he is aging rapidly right now. It's Ben Agachanian, the kicking coach, talking to him. Protection is good, but nothing else is. A loss of 7. Vernon Dean with the big play. Dorsett caught the ball and did well to hold on to it.
Well, Vernon Dean is the right corner. I mean, he's the inside guy here. He's going to be coming up from the right-hand side. I think he was playing man-to-man on Dorsett all the way. He wasn't playing the corner. He was playing the safety, and he read Dorsett and went with him all the way.
White gets some time. Throws intended for Cosby, and now the season comes to 1 play.
Well, I don't know if it's 1 play. Yep, it sure does. It's 4th down. That is coming to 1 play.
Here comes James Jones in from the sideline with whatever that 1-play choice will be. Dorsett strolls over to the Dallas sideline. It's 30-28 Washington.
I'll tell you, it may be more than just 1 play, and it may be more than just a season. It could be a lot. It could have a lot to do with Danny White's future.
Certainly could. He has Tony Hill wide to the left. He has Cosby and Donnelly to the right. Going to have time to do something. Receiver fell down. It was intended for Ron Springs, and he slipped down, and that should put Washington into the driver's seat.
There it is right here. He's looking for Ron Springs, who's going to come from the right-hand side of the screen into the middle. And we see him looking here, and just as he throws it, Ron Springs fell down. Linebackers were there and said, I'm not going to get that.
This is before the snap of the ball. Tom Landry looking. I was talking to Sonny Jurgensen before the game. He said, you know, there are a lot of nevers in this game because the Redskins have never beaten Dallas twice in the same season, regular season. That tells you who's winning right there. That never we can file away in some other suitcase. Obviously, Washington is in the driver's seat. They lead the division. There goes the penalty marker. Now Fellows and Group get into a little straight. Randy White is down at the bottom.
This is going to be a real one. This is where all the frustrations come out now.
Another little fracas up at the top of the Jim Cope. And Huff, let's have a go.
there. Put your helmet on, number 54. One thing you always learn is you never go out there without a helmet on. Well, you know, it's too bad it does have to end this way, and that's what Theismann's saying. Doggone it, get off the field. We won this game. Don't do anything to upset it.
I didn't see what started it.
Well, it was a hit on Theismann. See Ron Fellows come in here and hit Theismann?
That was unnecessary.
It was, and they did call that.
That was Randy White with Mark May. They do a body slam.
The defense has no timeouts, and they're behind. The game is over.
Defense has no timeouts. They're behind. The game is over. And I think that is a wise decision. The referee's got the ball, and he's gone. They can stay and play if they want to, but they'll have to do it without an agate. Landry departs. Joe Gibbs leaves happily. Long day for Landry and a rewarding one for Joe Gibbs. The final score: the Redskins 30, the Cowboys 28.